Competition in the prop firm industry is heating up, and I think prop firms are a great tool for new traders to build capital. But the question always is, what is the best account to get? All right, you're limited on funds, obviously are doing this to have a positive financial income, and you don't want to be throwing money away. So what is the best value? What account should you be going for? Now, this is a firm that I've talked about many times. They've had this account out for a while now, but I do want to talk about why static accounts, I think, are the best accounts in terms of prop firms for new traders in general from any firm. But this account, from what I've seen, I think has the best value over. Now, the firm I'm talking about, of course, is My Funded Futures. Disclaimer, right? I do YouTube videos for them. They did not ask me to do this. This is just a video coming off the tail of a video I did talking about DCAing, some of the proper ways to treat prop firms. And honestly, guys, I just wanted to talk about this because people are asking me all the time, you know, is this firm a scam? Is that firm a scam? What are the best accounts? What do I think? One, I think the best prop firm is the one that you can get paid from. Overall, all of the firms that I have linked down below in my description are firms that I'm willing to stand by. I think they all have good value propositions one way or another. One of the things just off the top of my head that I really like about My Funded Futures is they have a really good P&L system built in. Their dashboard is modern. Everything works. The payouts are super duper fast, right? You can literally request a payout and the money will be in your bank account like the same day. Now, some of that is their payment processor, you know, Rise. But the point is you can get your money quickly. But also they have nice end of day trailing accounts with a really big buffer. And they have this static account as well, which is the most similar account to a real account. And everything that I push, all the strategies that I talk about are to help people trade for real. Prop firms have been around for a while. In the past 2 years, though, they've become very, very popular. So I talk a lot about them now due to their popularity. But again, all of my strategies, you should assume that they work in a real account, and a static account is the most like a real account. So in this video, we're going to break down the static account offerings from My Funded Futures. They also have a promo going on right now. We're in the middle of June, at least as I'm filming this video, and by the time this comes out. So they have a June promo. We'll pop that up on the screen, take a look at that as well. But aside from the actual account, I have the link down below. You can click the link to get the account. I really want to talk about why I think static accounts are the best accounts to trade with, even with some of the other limitations, which I'll go into, if you want to be a real trader. If you don't want to just be a prop trader, if you want to be a real trader. For those of you new here, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. I'm a day trader, been trading for a few years now, right? I've made millions of dollars in the market. I've had big wins. I've had big losses in the market, right? And eventually I got to the point in my trading career where I'm now a consistent trader. Okay, we talk about prop firms, things like that all the time, but I have a trading community where we teach people how to trade, right? So we'll help you pass your prop firm account, but we'll also help you just grow your own capital stack, whether you just want to, you know, pay off your mortgage, buy a car, or maybe you actually just want to make a crap ton of money. We'll talk about all of the aforementioned in our Discord community. It's called Trade Edge. We're doing 50% off the first month in celebration of me passing 10,000 subs on my channel. So shout out to all of you loyal subscribers who put faith in me to bring trading knowledge, info, tips, and even a little bit of entertainment to you. Yeah, I do my best. I put a lot of effort into these videos trying to level them up for you guys. But yeah, super excited for the Force trading community and have a lot of good stuff in the cooker. Yeah, let's get into the video. All right, so quick update mid video. Didn't realize that they stopped selling this account. So looks like this is a limited time offer. I do have one of these accounts, okay? So I will pull that up. You can see here, if I go to My Funded Futures, I have a 30K static account, okay? This is a funded account at this point. And you can see here that the minimum balance doesn't move, right? That's the primary benefit of the static account, right? The minimum balance here at 27,500. Now, we can go to the FAQ though to get information on why these accounts are so nice. If you missed out on them selling these accounts or offering this, I'm sure they'll do it again. The reason that they limit this though, guys, is because the drawdown level doesn't move, right? That's the primary benefit. It's static, right? It's so like a real account. Prop firms protect themselves by having this trailing drawdown, okay? So there's a few different drawdown types. There's the intraday trailing, right? Which is the most common with Apex. Everybody whines and complains about it, okay? But they sign up for it and then they lose their minds. There's the end of day trailing, which is probably the best trailing type. Most of My Funded Futures accounts have end of day trailing. That means that as you make profit at the close of the market, the end of the day, then it shifts. That means intraday, okay, you're fine, right? It doesn't follow you. You can make as much money as you want. It's easier to hold higher leverage positions with the end of day trailing, which is like, I would say one of the reasons why I think MyFunded Futures just has the best value overall. If you get like the expert accounts, okay, it's much easier to hold larger positions intraday, which is why I like MyFunded Futures overall. And they have a really nice dashboard. Okay. Now the static accounts, right? There was a pro static and a standard account. You can see here, right? So they were thrilled to announce it, right? I'm not sure when they're going to do this again. I'll actually reach out to them and see if they're going to offer this again. I didn't realize that they weren't going to offer it forever when I made this video. But the 30K static pro account, this is one I have, had a profit target of $4,200, and you have 2 contracts, right? So there's not a lot of leverage there. You can make, again, every 100 points on NQ is $2 grand. So with 2 contracts, you can really print with this just fine. I don't think that's a big deal, right? There's no consistency rule in the sim funded stage. However, there's a $2,500 withdrawal cap for the first 60 days, and traders will be eligible to take a payout every 14 days. So you're limited really to $5,000 per month, right? $2,500 every 14 days. That's the big kind of handicap on this account. Now, that being said, let's talk about trader psychology. This is the most important thing for all of you who are new traders, all right? New traders, and anybody who's new, I think is somebody who's either they haven't found a way to be consistently profitable in a vehicle, right? They could be options, futures, whatever it is, or you're legitimately new. You're just now approaching this. These caps are not bad, okay? And you have to remember that you want to do something as close to real as possible. So if you any money that you make over the $2,500 cap, you can just hold on to that for the next 60 days. And it's really not going to penalize you. Okay. There's no consistency rule again, right? So it doesn't matter how much money you make and when. You're just capped on the withdrawals, but then after 60 days, the cap goes away, right? And the standard account is a little bit lower. The profit target is now $2,500, and the static drawdown is set to $1,500. So it's a little bit tighter, but you know, they've reduced the number of contracts. Okay. The best growth factor in the industry, once you gain the buffer by trading small, you'll unlock the potential for compounding. This is where it comes big. 2 contracts doesn't seem like a lot, guys. But again, let's go to our chart. And this is from the last video that I filmed. Let's get rid of all of this stuff. This is me talking about DCAing and people whining about that strategy in general. Go watch that video. But let's take a look at a vehicle like ES. Okay. From Friday, what date is this? June 7th. And I only have 2 contracts in my static. And let's say I'm a perfect trader and I short from the highs, and that's a 34-point trade. Okay. For those of you who don't know, okay, 1 contract is $50. So 2 contracts short is $100 a point times, 34 points is $3,400. So with my measly 2 contracts, I can make $3,400 in a day. No consistency rule. Okay. So I'm over the cap. After 14 days, I take my payout, have a little bit of buffer. I do that again. Okay. After 2 months, I take that money. I can start my own personal account. But the biggest thing, guys, is that you're not when you make this $3,400. So after making $3,400, the very next day, your trailing is yesterday's trailing plus yesterday's profit. Okay. So if we go back to the account that I was looking at, right? The minimum balance, 27,500. The buffer just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Bigger and bigger and bigger, right? It's basically doing what you would achieve in these end of day accounts where you have to make profit up to the buffer, and then it stops. It stops out the gate. So psychologically, you feel like you're winning. Every dollar that you make really feels like a win. You wake up in a better position than yesterday, which isn't the same, right? Let's use a direct comparison to an intraday trailing at a competitor like Apex. Okay. Let's say at Apex, you get a 250K account, right? You make $3,400. The intraday trailing is $6,500. So tomorrow, when you wake up, your trailing has just moved up $3,400. Your trailing has moved up $3,400. So in terms of defeating the trail, you haven't actually accomplished anything, which is why everybody hates the trailing accounts and why they're so hard. Okay. You make money, but the next day you're kind of in the same situation, especially in the eval stage, right? In the funded or the PA accounts at Apex, that's not the case. Once you hit the 6,500 trailing, it stops there. But in the eval, it follows you the entire way, right? And you have to make $15,000 of profit in this. That means all the way up to $15,000, this trailing, the $6,500 trailing is following you. Okay. in a MyFunded Futures static account, the trailing is non-existent, right? It sounds super cliche because it's static, but I'm telling you guys, if you're a new trader, you will underappreciate how valuable this is until you do the other types of accounts, okay? Until you do an end of day trailing, until you do a static intraday trailing, you're not going to appreciate this. If you have your own account, right? If you're a new trader, and I recommend that a lot of people do this, I think that you should, especially if you're going to do things like copy trade, you should use your personal account as a leader, and you can copy trade into these other accounts, okay? If you're a new trader, right, you don't want to get into the high leverage, trying to pass quickly strategies. That's useful if you want to just flip accounts, right? There's a ton of ways that people use prop firms, honestly, but I think the best way to use them if you want to trade for real is to just treat it like a real account. For sure, that is the fastest way to get a payout, is to trade small leverage, trade consistently, and to not have a lot of psychological barriers, right? Every single rule from a firm is a barrier, okay? The fact, again, and we can take a look here, okay, there is no, if we go back up to here, right, your drawdown, okay, is the initial $2,500. You hit the profit target, but every dollar you make just adds to your drawdown. So if you make $5,000 in a day, the next day you have $5,000 more dollars of wiggle room. If you make $10,000 in a week, you have $10,000 of wiggle room. You have more and more wiggle room out the gate, right? There's not a buffer that you need to build after multiple phases, right? You pass the account, or even in the eval, it's still static there as well. But once you pass the account, every dollar, even if you make $100, the next day you wake up with $100 of buffer. Okay, the next day you make $500, right? You've got $600 of buffer. Not a lot, but it's still more, and the work actually matters, right? You can immediately reap the reward from the work. And again, in terms of the leverage, you know, the biggest complaint that I've seen about these accounts is the two being limited to the 2 contracts. If you're trading a vehicle like NQ, okay, and we take the same short, 2 contracts, it's 158 points, okay? That's going to be 40 times 158, $6,320, okay? Taking that same trade on a vehicle like NQ, shorting 2 NQ. So there's plenty of money to be made. I guarantee you most people aren't holding these trades this long anyways, okay? I'm not even that perfect of a trader, but there's plenty of money to be made in the market with just 2 leverage. You don't actually need all that leverage. That leverage, quite frankly, whether it's from any firm, right, is there to blow people up, okay? It is designed, it's available as an option, but it's not an option that most people need to take, because what you'll do is you'll just blow your account up. If you don't believe me, you can find out for yourself. That's really all I wanted to talk about in this video. Oh, I do have a promotion, right? So they have a June promotion, 20% off all expert evals using the code June20. They have 30% off resets using code 30reset. So if you want to try out MyFunded Futures, again, I think that they're a great firm. Their built-in tools and dashboarding and things like that is top notch, right? I always talk about, you know, journaling and things like Notion and doing performance tracking. They give you the nice P&L breakdown by hour and things like that in their built-in dashboard. So it really is a top quality product in terms of giving you tools that you need to know how you're performing as a trader. And I like them overall for that reason. Of course, I do make YouTube videos on their channel. So quick little disclaimer there, but nonetheless, the facts are the facts. I think it's a great account and I recommend them. I personally recommend them. Even if, you know, they had never reached out to me, I would still make this video because that's just how good the static account is. Now, they're not offering it right now, so I do think you could check out their other account types and maybe go bug them and see if they will bring it back. I think that would be you know, they obviously would love the business, and I know you all would love to get some of these accounts. In any case, thank you for watching this video. I will see you in the next one.